What up?
Yes. I cannot say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me.
Yes.
'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? We're back.
I follow. No need to say. No. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
In the chat room.
To the edge of it all.
Age, city, gender, let's get it. Come on.
Cause I'm fine no matter what. Yeah.
Tell them. Come on. Come on.
Susceptible now.
Woo.
Before the moment flies. Ooh.
Black women are not your enemy. Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Cause I'm fine no matter what.
Come on. Come on.
Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. It's not a problem. No. Cause I know what I'm getting into.
Goodbye, Logan.
Nothing
Nice seeing you.
can stop me. No. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead
Close
the
up.
way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
Got the new overhead lighting, so it's not as dark in here.
Before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell you goodnight.
23 from Trinidad, 33 from Silicon Valley, 52 from Lawrenceville. How does this work? How does this work? How does it work? It works really simply. You keep my likes up, you keep my engagement up to over 50% of the views, and we don't have to stop. We don't have to slow down. We can keep on moving. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hope you guys have had a great weekend. I know I did. I hope you had a good time. I know I did. And now we're about to get into the shizzo. Let's see. Make sure we're sitting right, sitting tight. Got to look good for the camera. Got to get the tie on. Hopefully we're doing well. For those of people who don't know, we use acronyms around here. CIA. Men should be CIA. Confident, intelligent, and assertive. If a man is confident, intelligent, and assertive, many things in his life are going to tend to work out for him. Conversely, if a woman is feminine, beautiful, and inspirational, many things are tend to work out for that woman as well. Over here, we talk about high value men. I'm going to define that again in depth because I'm seeing a lot of people talking high value this, high value that, and you getting it all wrong. I will actually have a must read little book out by the end of the week for the high value dictionary. Because I'm hearing people talk all this high value stuff. And here's the thing, that may be your definition, but I'm going to give what I mean when I talk about it. Because when people are saying these things, as it stands right now, a lot of people are tending to refer to this platform, and I at least want you to be referring to it in the right way. High value starts with money. If somebody's claiming high value and it has nothing to do with money or doesn't start with money, go ahead and walk the opposite direction. That person doesn't know what they're talking about. There's no such thing as high value homeless, and you can have a high value mindset on $20 an hour. Sorry, that won't work for the world. That works for the barbershop and everybody else you're trying to impress that are broke. But men with money know men with money. High value it starts with money. Another thing, to be high value, it starts with the group guys who are already in the group. High value men determine high value men. They decide whether or not you're in the club. Again, there are no high value loners. So all these dudes running around talking about, yeah, I'm a high value man, but I'm a Sigma male and I don't. No. You may be high earning, but not high value. High value is determined by your usefulness, which is also, you have to have a resource component, a money component. You have to be making that money for at least 5 years. 5 years is where you really start crossing into high value. When you start becoming a high value man or a Henry in training, is around a 3-year mark. If you made 6 figures for at least 3 years, you're starting to cross into that territory, but still got some more work to go. Why? Because there's a certain amount of money that needs to be made. The guys who are in the group have to identify you as one of the boys. You have to have your life at LinkedIn level, which means everybody needs to know what you do, your title. So at a glance, someone can know what you're worth. I was talking to shout out to Dr. Tamara Tara. She was in town in Atlanta, and I'll get into more of that as we get into the broadcast. She represents, her brand is called Pretty Girl World. And one of the things I talked about is today the buzzword is entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm an entrepreneur. Well, if you recall that show I did with Ramil Amir, in 6 weeks, we had many guys calling in talking about they were entrepreneurs, and only 2 people in 6 weeks even knew what they were talking about as far as the business. You can be an entrepreneur just by deciding to be in business, but that does not make you high value. Meaning, there's a difference to say I make $150,000 a year. Who are you? I'm a junior patent attorney. Okay. Even if you don't know what that means, you say patent attorney, law, college, law school, past the bar, earning. Versus, I make $150,000 a year. What do you? Oh, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own company. What do you sell? Well, I sell, Vita water, what's that stuff? Those multi-level marketing, no disrespect to all that, but when it's a bunch of different things, has to be at a glance. You need a track record of success, a company or a business you work for, and a title that everyone understands what it is. And lastly, next thing, you have to have a network. Again, no high value loners, a network. Because if you're going to be in the group with the high value men need to know what you bring to the group, and we need access to your skill set and your network. I got a network of 500. You got a network of 50. He has a network of 200. He's got a network of 1,000. Together, we have a network of together around 2,000 people. You want to get in over here? Okay, what do you bring? You got money? You got talent, but what's your network? Oh, you have no network? What does that mean? You want to come bleed off our network. No, you can't be in the high value club. Come back when you have a network that we can fish in, a pond that we can fish in as well. So you could add to the network. See, everybody has a lot of little different ponds. Some people have a pond. Some people have a lake. Some people have an ocean. Some people have a sea. High value men have a body of water. You don't even have a body of work, so you can't be high value. That's right. I am talking that shit tonight because I'm tired of so many people around here talking about high value this, high value that. Oh, he's not high value. You're not high value. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about because you've never even been out there. A high value man has done the work. He has done the work. He knows the lingua franca of work. He speaks in the terms of work. And last thing, he must be useful. See, all the guys out there talking about, I don't want to be used. I don't want to be used. Good. You're not high value. If a high value man, he wants to be used because he's useful. So those rules will be out. The bullet points, so everyone can have the same definition and working for it. Because if you want to refer to me, that's what it means to be high value. That's what it means to be high value, and that's what it's always meant to be high value. Any country, any season, any reason, any business, any race, high value men have these characteristics. It hasn't changed because of the internet. Now, as we move on today, we talk about high value men fear marriage. That's one of the things I've started to hear a lot. High value men fear marriage. High value men fear marriage. That's bullcrap. High value men don't fear anything. There's some guys who are masquerading as high value men, and they tend to get found out because high value men don't fear marriage or relationship because they understand that, like it or not, it's a part of the puzzle. You don't find many millionaires and billionaires who are bachelors. 90% of millionaires and billionaires are currently married. And I would venture to say the majority of them have been married. You take out, if you just look at a traditional economy, take out entertainment or sports, men who've had to make their way, I would say that it's in the high 90%. Why? Because they understand something. That your network, let me get into this. High value men don't fear marriage because they understand relationship, because they understand they understand the power of the network. And like it or not, they value family. Why? Because they understand family equals your first network. And that's where a lot of us get screwed up. Many of us who are raised without a father, raised in single mother households, our first network was dysfunctional. It was us and mama. There wasn't a CEO and a CFO. There was just one person. We worked for a sole proprietor. And that person was basically a king or a queen. What they said go. They didn't have to put in any kind of administration. A network. Your family is your first network. The husband is the CEO. The wife is the director or the manager. Kids are the employees. Your extended family are other parts of the organization. And so many of us, our first networks were dysfunctional and fractured. We have gotten into this whole value thing of where we just do it all ourselves. We're going to get more into that because I keep hearing this thing that high value men fear marriage and high value men ain't married. No, high value men marry at a higher rate because, like it or not, relationship says you can be trusted. I don't know if Dr. T is in there, but shout out to Dr. T. Dr. T is a woman that actually reached out to me on Instagram. And she's matter of fact, she's on my community wall. And I did a Facebook story. She was in town on business. We've been going back and forth on Instagram. And we decided to go out and have a business meeting. So we're sitting there, and she had reached out and said, hey, man, One of my colleagues, one of my friends said I should watch your videos, and I got it. You know what? Forget it. Let's just read it. Let's just read it. Let's just read it. Because it's a good story as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Dr. T, good morning, Kevin. I had to reach out to you. Someone recently suggested I watch one of your YouTube videos. Initially, I was in shock and taken back by some of the things you said, some of the things you were saying. Initially, I disagreed. However, it took some time to process through your words, and I spoke to men. To my surprise, they agreed with you. And that began our conversation. And we've gone back and forth, back and forth. And she puts together these, she's a woman's empowerment coach. She is an alpha female, successful woman out here making her money. A straight up Hillary, as I would call her. And exactly the things I talk about, she wouldn't ask guys who are Marcuses, who are Keats, and they're like, oh no, he's dead on point. To the point to where it was even like, you know what? I got to admit, bro, you are right on point. And I started listening to some of the things you said. I've done a couple of things you say, and just like that, I've had 2 high value men who are interested in me right now talking about moving forward. And look, and bottom line is, I'm not just talking crap. I know what I'm talking about in this area. So next year, I plan on going out to speak at her Women's Empowerment Conference, where I'll be in front of about 1,000+ women. Now, why would a woman who is an alpha female, who is a driven corporate executive, who has her own money and doing exceptionally well, want to risk blowing up her business if a guy didn't know what he was talking about? And as we sat down over the dinner of our dinner meeting, and the time we were out on Saturday, it was great. One of the first things that happened is when we met, she had on a lovely black dress, and I had on my little Tom Ford my liquid blue velvet jacket, and we were, walking by, and people were just like, damn. And are you used to people staring at you like this? I'm like, of course, when they see a solid brother and a solid sister dressed like they are grown damn people, you stop it. It's sad to say that we have gotten so far that that's show stopping. Anyway, good evening, great conversation. And we talked a lot about what she does, a lot about what I do, and how we could work together to move this thing forward. And one of the biggest things we talked about was relationship and marriage. And the mistake, the misnomer that high value black men fear marriage because they want to go marry Becky. Let's get into it. Professors don't make money. Who are you talking about? What I look over here. Okay, let me see. Okay, well, MGTOW Monkblade, I got to be honest with you. Some of you guys misunderstand, unless you're already in the high value category, you choosing to not be saying, I'm not going to get married till the law changes. No, cool, but they're not affecting anyone. Like it or not, you're going to have to get on board with what people want. Let me see. Go through the chat room. So if I look in here and I see crazy talk, I'm going to just ban you. Outright. Again, I got news for you, guys. Like it or not, no one cares what a bunch of nameless, faceless avatars talking about. They don't really. Guys, if you want women to care, you're going to have to show your work. And this whole thing about high value men fearing marriage because they want Becky, it's been something out there for the longest. All the good men, and when women say good men, understand something, guys. When women say good men, the vast majority of them are referring to high value men. High value men. Women aren't talking about good men making $15 an hour. So let me translate woman to you. All the good men, meaning men who can pay all the bills, men who can afford to where I don't have to work or I can work from home. That's what they mean by good men. And men who are willing to do that, not after a woman does everything. We're going to get into it tonight because far too many guys who speak in these conversations, even if the perfect woman walked by you today, right now, you aren't willing to do shit. You're not willing to pull the trigger. You're not willing to get married. You still want her to spin 10 plates and then you sit back, get out of here. Just say you're afraid. Just say you want to stay single for the rest of your life. Do that, but stop acting as though if you found this woman that you would be willing to marry her in short order. Because like it or not, women want the security of relationship and marriage. And many of you guys who talk the most, you're not willing to do that. And I'm fine with that. But I am making a big distinction. I am dealing with men who are in the top 10%, who want to be in the top 10% of men. And to be in that group, you're going to have some sort of relationship. You cannot be a single lone wolf walking around taking from other people. People want more than just your talent. They want your network. That's why you work for many people right now. And if you think, well, I'll just go open my own business, well, great. You'll have a cap on you. Men without networks live small lives. Let's get into it. The family is your first network. And many of us, our first network was dysfunctional. Oh, we got to get the likes up. What the French? No. Where am I? Get my likes up. No way. Run them likes. I ain't playing with y'all. I thought I was kidding. Oh, no. We don't do that. Get them up. Come on. A like is free, guys. Too cheap to pay in a like? Nobody. You ain't gonna pay in a like. A woman don't care. Neither do men. We got to get over 1,500. 1,500 or we don't move. 1,500 or we don't move. I mean, yeah, 1,400. Come on. Oh, we're still not there. We'll do it again. I'm dead ass serious. Hit the dadgum like button, people. Thank you. It's not that damn hard, man. Swear to God. See, some of you guys, and I'm going to tell you something, guys. It's going to be hard for a lot of you guys to hear, but women don't give a damn what you got if you're not willing to spend it. Nobody gives a shit that you got a job and you got money. If you're going to just hoard it and keep it to yourself, they don't care. And neither do other men. Selfish, tight-fisted men have small lives and little networks. No one likes cheap men. Now, as we move into it, the theory is a lot of women say, well, once a man becomes high value, a black man becomes high value, he doesn't want to marry a black woman. He truly wants to wait, or once he becomes successful, he wants to marry a white girl. Let me tell you something, black women. That is a bunch of bunk. That stuff your grandmother, your auntie Nim, your unmarried mother who was unsuccessful with men in her time have told you. High value black men want to marry. See, when a man is 18 to 30 and on the path of becoming high value, that's a Henry. A Henry is a high earner, not rich yet. That means a guy who is like $75,000 a year, working his way up to 110, 120, 125. When he's in that era, when he's in his 20s grinding, he wants to look up and at about age 30, 35, he wants to, when he finally gets into the Henry Club and he's crossed that threshold, he's after 2 or 3 years of actually making that income and building that network, he is not going to turn around and get with a woman who is not a benefit to him. And see, sadly, far too many black women who could be beneficial to these men are not. They're not. They could be. It's a choice. They're choosing not to be beneficial because many black women who fit this category know what black men want. They want women who are fit, feminine, and friendly. Beautiful, inspirational, cooperative, submissive. They want to be team you. And there was a news story that dropped last week in CNN talking about how this whole pandemic is really affecting the economy and how it's changing. Oh, people are starting to realize and rejigger things because the jobs that you have that kept you so safe to where you thought you could sit there and look at a man as though you're a competitor. Many ladies are going to have to realize that the economy is changing and being alone has a cost to it. But let's stay into this. The fear, and it's fear. Many black women will come out of their mouth and say, high value black men don't want to get married. They fear marriage. But then they'll turn around and say, if they do get married, they'll marry Becky. Well, which is it? Do they fear marriage? But if they fear marriage, why are they marrying Becky? Or maybe what you're saying is high value men fear marrying black women. High value men fear marrying Tina or Angie. Well, Angie's not in the running, but fear marrying Tina. See, Tina could be a high value man's wife. She chooses not to be because the main thing that she lacks, the main thing that drives Tina is fear. Fear that she can, he gonna leave me for Becky. He really wants Hillary. And instead of being the best Tina possible, Tina is a strong adjustable 6. I've talked about her before. And the things that's holding a lot of Tinas back is they won't do what works. They won't do what works. And I said this on somebody else's channel. Fear is keeping you single, not Becky. Fear is keeping you single. These high value men, they're abusive. They're cheaters. They're controlling. They're manipulative. They're this, they're that. And then they secretly want to marry a white woman, but they're really secretly gay. All these crazy things, and everybody else is going on living a happy life. So the question becomes this. If high value black men are marrying, and I saw it in the chat room. Have you ever noticed that when a high value black man is married, he tends to be married to a white woman or non-black woman? Well, whose problem is that? Because I will tell a man all day long, if you've done the work to become high value, you pick from the best women you have available at the time. And if black women want to be in that pool, they need to be in that pool. You need to choose to be in that pool of people he selects from. It's on you, sister. You can choose to be the pick. And many brothers would rather marry black. It's about culture. But they understand something. That I've heard this thing. What's the advantage of getting married if you're high value? Well, many of the guys I hear ask this, they aren't high value. But I'll go ahead and extend this question to even to the Gregs and Aarons. The guys who are the high value guys are here, but the guys who are above average, they're not the average guys. The Aarons and Gregs, they're in that 60 to 85 range. What's the advantage for marriage for these guys? It's the same on some levels. It's about network, about family. But so many Aarons and Gregs look at a woman, a woman to marry, a Tina or an Angie, and her network is nothing but women. Let me explain to you. If you're Tina, if you're Angie, and you got Greg and Aaron over here looking at you, and he goes to talk to you, and he goes to meet your family, and all he meets is your mother, who's unmarried. Your grandmother, she's still alive. Big Daddy's dead. Meet your sisters, they're unmarried. Your cousins, they're unmarried. But the majority of them unmarried women have children. He meets your aunties, them, and a lot of them got kids. This man is coming to meet Tina Johnson or Tiffany, give me a name, Williams. I don't want to use that name. Tina Johnson or Angie Johnson. I'm going to give you both the same name. You come meet Tina Johnson and Angie Johnson. Two different Johnsons, though. And all Tina's people is women. So Tina, when he meets you, it ain't nothing but women. Women in your family and your homegirls. He meets Angie, women in your family. There are no men. So that man automatically knows this is going to be hell. Holidays, a bunch of women. A bunch of kids, a bunch of crap. Nope. They're not wanting to do it. There's no benefit to a man marrying into a bunch of women. But if half the men over there are married, they got guys that they can network with. Have a family of men. Oh, we're going over to cousin Denise's house. Oh, okay, Denise and Daryl, cool. So he knows when he going over to Denise's house, he can sit in the front room and watch the game with Daryl while y'all over there talking crap. He don't want to go to Denise's house to sit there and at the table and talk to you and Denise. Want the French toast? The first thing is family. And so many of you women, you have no family. I mean, you have no network. It's just a network of women. Men need to be around other men to build stuff. Well, how can I fix this? Well, that's on you, sis. I'm telling you what the men say. They don't want to go around a bunch of women and a bunch of feminine energy because what they're going to hear is a bunch of complaining. At some point, the conversation is going to turn to men, and the women who have children are going to have something positive to say about their BD. Not likely. Network. Family is the first network. What you can do is you can't change your family, but you can change your friend circle. Tina or Angie, you need to stop hanging with so many single women and start hanging with coupled women. Finding out what coupled people do and start doing things to make you more appealing to a man who's marriage minded. But the high value guys, high value men they are looking at your family. Oh, very much so. They're looking past your little cute self and they're looking at your mama to see what you could likely be like. If your mama ain't married, they already got a strike in your mind because you wasn't raised by daddy. They may not say it, but that's what it comes to. But if your auntie and them, if you got a bunch of women, we need to talk. We need to talk. Dr. T was like, you need to put that boot camp together for women. I'm like, yeah, they're going to pay for it too. Because see, Aaron's and Greg's don't fear marriage. Because like you said, they'll marry, they'll get with Marisol or Marlene or Becky. Well, like if you look at it, I would say I think it's more likely that men 18 to 25 years old, black men 18 to 25 want to marry than black women. Listen to my channel. How many times you've heard women talk about, I had a relationship for 2 years, 3 years. In my 20s, early 20s, what happened? I broke it off. I was young and dumb. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. So the question is, ladies, for the ladies who think high value brothers don't want to marry, or when they do marry, they marry out. What are the alternatives? What are the alternatives based on what men want? They want a woman who's fit, feminine, and friendly. Then, of course, the beautiful, inspirational part is there. And then the cooperative, submissive part. If you can find a woman that is that, what does her first network look like? Because if she's over here, but her family is a bunch of cackling hens, she's not an appealing prospect, because what is he going to do? He's going to have to take her away from that and go elsewhere. But how many women are willing to leave their families to cleave and go over here? If you're not willing to leave and cleave from your family, you'll be there. Oh, we're getting into it tonight. We're getting into it tonight. Leave and cleave. Black women, black men are not your enemy. And high value black men want to marry black women. I had 3 consulted brothers today. 2 of them are executives. One owns a company employing 50 plus people in the Pacific Northwest. And he point blank, your godfather can tell you that the men, you can ask all these other women who will tell you that he ain't this, he ain't that. Look, I talk to men every day. And they're like, yep, that's what I want. I got married early. I was married this long. And I don't want to be out here dating. I wanted to get married and go around. Are you in the pool? Because sadly, some of the women that call into my show, they'll want the high value lifestyle, but they're not ready to be the high value wife. And here's the thing, truthfully, there are men who can afford a high value lifestyle. If they can get the most of what they want, they'd be willing to give the high value lifestyle to get the high value, to get the wife. But sadly, are there enough suitable ladies, not women, are there enough suitable ladies for truly high value black men? Because in my opinion, to be truly high value, relationship and network has to be in there. Whatever you classify, you don't really find guys who are high value who are bachelors from day one to the day they die. There'll be some sprinkled in there, but the majority have some sort of network. So let's get into it. Now, for all the guys, I see a lot of guys new dudes talking. Ladies, I can't control the chat room. If you hear guys coming in here talking crap about black women, I need Asian women, understand that unless they got a picture of them and their girlfriend in the avatar, or unless you know these people from interaction, just assume they're trolling. Because truly high value men or men who are truly out there doing their thing don't feel the need to come in here and take shots at a bunch of women they don't know. That's not necessary. So don't get triggered. I can't control it. Don't worry about it. But more importantly, worry about what's going on in your mirror. What's going on in your world? Why are you single? Why are you unmarried and no prospects? Why are you unmarried and no prospects and you live in an NFL international city? If you live in an NFL or an international city, unmarried and no prospects, see, you may have dudes in your phone. You may be able to get some loving, but I'm talking about marital prospects. Especially when you all up in the danger zone and you got no marital prospects. It don't matter how often you can get some. After that itch has scratched you, danger zone. What you got? Who you with? That's what you need to be worried about. Tell them, Dr. T, that's what you need to be worrying about. Squarely focused on, guess what? I'm 27 to 35. I should be kicking the 18 to 24-year-old girl's butt. I'm a good woman. You know, not only am I fit, feminine, and friendly, I'm cultured, I'm mature, I have a skill set. I have all these things that a young woman can't have or can't accomplish. I bring all this stuff to the table. Yeah, but what does he want? How is he finding you? How are you knocking her out the way? Oh, see, The women, this is why I will say something, and I'm gonna get on to open the call line. A lot of black women, you should learn from Becky and Mei. They are competitive. They get up in the morning with the idea of getting a man. They get in there and eat that celery, drink that water. They stay slim, fit, and tight. They get into the gym. They're doing the crunches, the planks, the yoga, the Pilates because they know they need their man. They're going out there to compete. They'll go to a wedding, and I've seen white women almost get into a barroom fight trying to catch the bouquet. I want to talk to the sisters that want that kind of attitude, not the bouquet come up and they just sidestep it. I ain't trying to talk to you. You gone over there with them dudes that they're talking about, you know, they want to be single until the laws change. I ain't trying to talk to y'all either. Because the guys that are saying you're trying to be single till the laws change, you ain't supporting no channel, you ain't supporting no media, and your money ain't behind you have not actively formed a super PAC, or you got no money behind a candidate to get anything changed. You're just you're just talking. When I see guys that say that, shout out to AMS. Tired of these MGTOW crybabies. Now, if you weren't crying in the chat room and your title is MGTOW, I'm not talking to you. You know what I'm talking about. And I have a problem with MGTOW. I have a problem with whiners. The laws aren't going to change in your lifetime. Get over it. To the guy who said, that knocks me out until the laws change, then don't say that ever again. Just say, I'm not getting married. Because they're not going to change in your lifetime. But that's not the reason you're not getting married, because I would be hard pressed to see that you really have anything. Because men that have something, men that are truly high value, have abundance mindset. And they ain't worried about, she ain't getting half, she ain't getting this, she ain't getting that. Nobody cares about getting half of $60,000. Everybody talked about Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos didn't complain one time, and he's doubled his money. So broke dudes talking about, and broke. When women think of money, they think of broke. They want you to make at least what they make plus 50%. Most women want you to make double what they make. So if you're not in that conversation, bruh, it does no good to sit around and pound your chest talking about, I'm out of the game. No one cares. No one came to see you. They didn't know you were in the game. They don't even see you. And you would do better moving through the world like that. No shade at you, but it's no different than when an unattractive woman comes in with a bunch of attitude. No guy really cares. All right, so let's get into it. To all of the sisters who think high value men fear marriage, or if they want to marry Becky. Are you ready for a high value husband? Can you give him what he wants? Are you competitive with Becky right now? Are you ready if 100 high value men was in your area right now and they all say they're ready to try to pick a wife, would you be what's on the menu? Are you ready? Oh, or are you the chick that thinks, oh, well, wait, come back when I lose this weight. Oh, I said it. We're going there.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
Wait for me to lose 80 pounds. 5 years I'll be ready for you. So don't do nothing for the next 5 years.
Y si no hay pues emigrar. Todo money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción, yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah, yeah. Money work, se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, yeah, la plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunático.
So, here we go. Look on the screen over here. Let's see. Look at all those books. Look at all those books meant to terrify you. Look at that. Why black men love white women. Why black men jump the fence. Why? 25 reasons sisters fail in relationships with black men. Yep. There's a lot of fear out there for you guys. Just eat it up. Fear. Oh my God. Black men don't want black women. No, they don't want to get married. They just want to pump you and dump you and leave you with babies and yeah, all that good stuff. Yeah, we done heard it all, right? This. Go ahead and hide this dude. Idiot. I tell you, when some dude come through here talking about silly like that, guys, if you hear any of this MGTOW talking points come through here, talking about silly stuff, time him out, and when I see him, I'll block him. I'm tired of you. Dude, this is not a MGTOW channel. You're going to have a hard time coming over here talking MGTOW stuff to me. You know, most of you guys are just outright, virgins. And that's cool. Be that, but I hear a lot of guys talking this stuff, and you have no parts of a woman. You haven't seen a woman. If a woman came in, you'd be confused. So you want to talk tough on the internet. Ladies, understand something. If you listen to stuff the guys like that talk about, you're hurting your own cause. And gentlemen, if you honestly make decisions based off what some of these guys say, and it's the same people, it's the same talking points. You know who talk about, the guys who talk about not needing money? Let's talk about it. The guys who are upset when I talk about high value needing money are broke men. You guys are broke. You're just broke, and that's it. Broke guys get upset when you start talking about money because they can't compete. That's why they want to talk about, you know what, I'm going to get it off the game. And then, okay, great. But where's the money? Where the high, first off, I don't really trust any man that I can't see. There's a lot of noise talked on these spaces, but unless I know you, if I can't see you, I'm just assuming you're talking. Because in order to be a high value man, guys have to put you in the high value group. You have to have the resources. You have to have it to be a visible level. You have to have a network. You have to have had made the money and the resources over a period of time. You have to be useful to the group. If you don't have those things and you are talking like, well, I don't need that to get women, good. Again, the distinction between getting short-term access to somebody's body and a long-term situation. See, a lot of people misconstrue these things. Talking about just being able to go get laid, that's not the conversation. That's a teenage or early 20s conversation. And honestly, the luster of that should have worn off by your mid-20s. You should move on to ambition, money, property, power. But see, if you have nothing in that area, if you don't have abilities to do anything, then you have to pad your record with sex. I get it. I mean, I get it, you know, and you know, truthfully, I ran the scoreboard up my lifetime, but you don't hear me running around talking about my sexual exploits or my notch count. But I guarantee you this, it's up there. It's up. Okay, let's talk about it. If I were to talk about it, I stopped counting. True story. Me, my dude Steve, my dude Jeff, we were in Houston. I was with my dude Jeff, and dude Steve. Steve was he's an alpha. And one day we were sitting back listening to we were playing John Madden football, and we were talking about some bad women from back at home, right? And I was like, yeah, I kicked it with old girl, because he went to the college that was my competitor, and he was like, oh man, I used to want to kick it with this girl. Oh yeah, I knew her. Me and her hooked up. Oh, you did? Oh, well then he said, but I kicked it with. Oh, you liked her? And then I started running through women I had been with, and after about 15 or 20, Steve was like, man, will you stay out my bedroom? And we were laughing and joking. I was like, yeah, and this year I got this and that, because you know there was many competitions on the yard. One semester I was on the yard like, who can sleep with the most women? And women knew about this contest. The Kappas ran a contest. Who can sleep with the most women? And there were actually women that came up. How many of you got this semester? I want to help you win. I bullshit you not. Where you at, Kevin? I want to help you beat, I'm not going to say their name because they're not public people. I want to help you beat these two because I was number 3. Women in the student union knowing who guys, this was the 90s, late 80s, 90s. So by the mid 90s, Magic Johnson had already tested and guys kind of started to check themselves a little bit. So by the mid 90s, we're all sitting here laughing and talking and drinking, playing football, but we were counting and recalling. And after past 20 or 30, it was like, ha, you the man. But after it crossed 50 or 60, we were like, yeah. But man, after it crossed into the 80s and 90s, it started to get kind of disgusting. And after we both crossed, all 3 of us crossed 100 sexual partners, there was a lot of shame in that room. 3 intelligent, successful, educated, driven men. And we're sitting back like, and that was in the mid 90s. Let me tell you, there's not a badge of honor to go out and talk about it. I got hundreds and hundreds. I got this. Look, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I've had my exploits many times over. But you don't hear me talking about, I've had sex with, hundreds of women and this and that. I talk about the shit that's important. That comes with it. So for you guys who are sitting around thinking, oh man, I'm an alpha male and I I don't need to talk about my sex. I don't need no money. Okay. I guarantee you this. If you want to line up rosters and notch counts, you're still going to have a long way to go to catch me, and you still don't have the resources. You still don't have as much money. Because here's the thing. You can't take none of that shit to the bank. You can't deposit it anywhere, and it does nothing for your resume. Go sit in a boardroom. Go sit in a room full of men your age, downtown where you are. Go to downtown or the central business district, wherever you are, and go sit in a room with the businessmen in that area. And where the fuck do you line up? Where do you match up? If you could not speak in that room because you know you'd be shown to be a phony or a fraud or beneath or below, that's where you rank. If they're sitting there talking about mergers and acquisitions and this and that, and all you want to bring to it is hoes, come on, man. Not gonna happen. That's why a lot of guys get mad with this high value thing. The only value, if that's all you got is, yeah, man, I don't have any of those stories to tell. I don't know anything about these things. I'm not well read, well versed, but I can talk about having lots of sex. What value does that really have? Okay, you're not going to get on the camera. You can't get on the show. You got to, your camera has to be on. I have to be able to see who you are before I unmute your mic. You won't get on the show without it. So here we go. And the point of that story is there are plenty of men who can tell you both sides of it. Yeah, I had my exploits, my young days when I was ripping and running and doing such and so forth. But I also decided to go out and do something, and build something, and have a resume. That's where the whole thing show your work comes from. That's why there's a work component to high value. No group of men sits around and says a guy who had a lot of sex gets to be a high value man along with the guy who's built a lot of stuff. And it doesn't work in the black and trying to make that shit work in our community, no, not gonna happen. So, if you're in the chat room trying to talk, no, I can't put you on audio, so you can go bye-bye. I got people in here talking about how I like to talk, but I can't show my face because I'm a celebrity. Nope. Bye-bye. And the picture won't work either. You must show your actual face. You got to show your actual face. So, what am I ultimately getting to? See, life is about development. You should be a different man every 5 years because you've continued to evolve and mature. And by the time a man reaches 35 is the earliest, 40 is about the norm, is when you're really hitting your stride as a man. And that's when you should be looking for your wife. Sucks that the world changed in the last 20 years to where the internet is a thing. The global economy is a thing. You can't just work one factory job and make enough money to take care of your wife and your kids and everybody go. You can't do that. So now, being a young man, getting a young wife and going out to build a future is not a good move. Not like it was 70, 80 years ago. The better move is put your head down from 18 to 30. And at 30, then you start looking up, and then you look at women who are around 21 to 23. Man, 35, you're looking at women anywhere from 21 to 24. Man, 40, 23 to 25. Oh, man, that means I got to work from 18 to 30 and can't have enough fun. You too broke anyway. They don't want you. I mean, that's the real truth. That's the diehard, that's God's honest truth. You can get out here and have short-term relations with a woman, but they don't want you because you don't have the standing. You may be good in bed and have a young guy's body and muscles and shit, but you don't have the gravitas. Women don't want these kind of women don't want guys who are making a lot of money but have nowhere to go. They want to have somewhere to go. They want to get out. They don't want to be like, oh, you making $120,000 a year? Yeah. Well, let's get out and go. Well, we can just chill. Well, I want to go to the Regency Club, or I want to go dancing. We can just chill. You know how many young women get tired of you young guys who have no social skills? And this is where you guys, if you decide to start making your value more than just money, you have to build a network. You say, well, hey, I'm making $85,000, $90,000 a year, but I'm actively involved. What are you doing? I'm going here. If you actually have an active social life, you actually get more points than guys with money, because money is just a component. There are some boring ass French toast dudes that make a lot of money, and there are guys who are just in the high earners club who have less money. They have enough to enter, but they have much better network and they are more valuable. High value starts with money, but it is not only money. Your network matters more. Your network matters more once you're in the group than your money. Oh, there you go. Bye, Brittany. Bye, chick. See, I tell you, you can't get on my. These people keep coming on trying to talk. Nope. If you want to talk crap to me, you're going to have to get on the camera. You're not a woman. CCIV. You're not a woman, so I don't do that. It said lady, and you got a do rag on and sunglasses and earrings. Can't do it, fam. Can't have you on my camera with the do rag on and earrings, trying to be in a high value conversation as a guy. Not gonna do it. Hello.
Mr. Samuels, how are you?
Good. You've called and you've been on my show before?
Yeah.
How many times have you been on?
Just once before.
What do you have for me?
I just wanted to go ahead and share that I have come across high value men who are still seeking out to marry black women.
Wait, first off, before we do that, how old are you?
25.
Okay. So high value men fear marriage, they want to marry Becky. What story do you want to put in here?
I was in a relationship with a high value man 2 years ago. He was a black man and he was
How old was he?
He was 37. I was 24.
Okay.
And he was marriage minded. And because of a lot of the things that I had gone through, he had required a lot of things that was just, for me, I needed healing. I needed to go to therapy, and I dropped the ball. I really just, I messed it up big time. So that just goes to show that there are high value men, there are black men who are seeking to marry black women. They're just waiting on us to get our stuff together.
Yeah, basically what she's saying, guys, is she was young and she's 20. How old are you? 20 what? Now?
I was 23 at that time. I'm 25 now.
So she's 25 and she had met a high value man at the time. He was 37. He was marriage minded, but yet she wasn't. She needed healing, so she dropped the ball. And basically, that black women who seek high value men need to get themselves ready because they're out there. That's basically what she's saying. Go ahead. They didn't hear you.
Right.
If the volume is low, turn up your volume.
No. Okay. Yeah, I didn't cheat. No, I didn't cheat.
Oh, no. I'm not. Are you looking in the chat room?
Yeah. I'm
No.
sorry.
You shouldn't do that. No. What? No. We don't do that over here. I'm not even looking in the chat room.
Okay. Yeah. he just really required a lot of transparency, a lot of honesty. I still wanted to party. I still wanted attention from other men, and there are just
Oh, he asked you to be serious, and
yeah,
you
he
didn't want to
really
have you didn't want to open that cell phone to him, and he told
mm,
but
no,
yeah,
no, no, no.
but that's the kind of stuff these
He
guys are.
wanted,
Go ahead.
yeah, I think he just wanted me to he didn't like the fact that I still wanted to go out dancing. Um and so there's just things that he required of me
He
that
required you to
I
be
knew
a wife.
he was trying to train me or groom me to become a mother and a wife, and I was just not there
Oh,
mentally.
okay. So did he come at you like he wanted to be married? Did you know that initially?
Yeah, absolutely. He courted
Okay.
me.
So why did you decide? You guys don't know. Some of you guys are just stupid. So why'd you decide to date him? Get out of the chat room, lady.
He
If you look in that chat room one more time, I'm gonna hang up this call.
okay. Why did I date him? He courted me. He was the first man who took me very seriously. He was the first man
Right.
who, yeah. It was it was the first time anyone has taken me that seriously, and because I think it may be due to just my relationship with my father, but I have had other
Okay, but here's
non-sexual
a question I'm
platonic
asking,
romance.
sis. Young sis, hold on. When this man
Yes.
stepped to you, he was told you he was looking for a woman or a wife.
Yes.
Why did you just not say, I'm good, I'm not ready for that?
He didn't say, he said he wanted to court me. He said, I'm looking for courtship. I want to court you.
To what end?
With marriage in mind.
Well, that's the
So
point. So basically, let's be real. You wanted the time that you could enjoy with him. Because he didn't just take
yeah,
you to McDonald's, he took you to nice places, didn't he?
yeah,
Right. So you
he
took
was a good
that.
man.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a slap because
Okay.
you went into this and he said, I want to court you with marriage in mind, and you knew you weren't ready to get married. Get out of the chat room.
I didn't. I
Okay,
didn't.
okay. When he said with marriage in mind, you were thinking, oh, okay, I could walk down the aisle next week with you.
It was something that I had at the time really was like, okay, I want to get married to this man. I want to spend the rest of my life with this man.
Okay, then
But
why would it be such a hard thing to not go dancing with a bunch of strangers?
I it was honestly at that time I just did not have it in me mentally and emotionally
Well,
to
those two
really
things
devote my
don't. Those
time.
two. Okay, understand. Those two things don't line up to me.
Okay.
Those two things don't line up because, ma'am, if you knew that this man wanted to court you, that's different than a dude trying to just screw you.
No, yeah.
Well,
That
that's
wasn't him.
different. And he approached you like a straight up man. And honestly, what more likely to not happen is like, well, I like that he can take me to Ruth Chris or these places or that place. So I wanna see how this works. I'll take the good treatment. But
I don't
you're
think
okay.
that's actually not what happened.
All right. This is not my first rodeo. I'm not trying to be rude, man. But
It's okay.
it didn't take you. How long did you see this guy?
It was about a year and a half.
Oh goddamn, no. See, I'm about to let you go because I'm about to cook you. Because I know when I'm hearing bullshit. A year and a half. It doesn't take you a year and a half to realize you're not trying to marry somebody. And get off my phone with that lie. Get off my phone with that lie. Don't you think you can call over here and lying to me? Oh, I just didn't know that I didn't want to be married. No, you was for the streets. That man approached you like a man. Said, I'm looking to court you. You knew it, and he told you that with marriage in mind, and you were in it for a year and a half, taking the benefits, taking the dinners, taking the nice evenings, taking the gifts, taking all that, when knowing at the end of the day you want to still get out there and ride the carousel, be out there with Nug Nug and Tim Tim and Slim Sauce and all them other dudes, and this 40-year-old, 37-year-old man is wasting a year and a half, and then you wonder why guys like this get tired, because they get tired of getting played. What you just heard was a young woman, I wasn't ready. Look, it don't take a year and a half to know that you're not ready to walk down the aisle. She wanted the benefits. He was a walking wallet with resources. And that's why her butt ran, because she knew I was about to go ahead and cook it out of her ass. But you call back in here with that bull crap. That's not exactly what happened. I don't care if it's exactly what happened. I know when I smell BS. I mean, seriously, how many of you guys think that a 37-year-old man steps to a 23-year-old woman, says, I want to court you? He's not saying, hey, girl, I just want to bend you over and knock it out of the park. I want to court you. Do you think he took her just to, what, Starbucks? Ladies, let's be real. How does it sound like this man likely treated her? Did he sound like he just said, come over, I got a pizza and some wings? Ladies, 37, 23. What do you think a 37-year-old man who's telling a 23-year-old he wants to court her was treating her like? Think he exposed her to things that her 23-year-old ass couldn't do herself? She used him. She used him. And I'm not saying that she didn't, why'd she use him? She knew that he wanted to get married. So even if you had, well, he got something out of it too. He was having relations too. So he would have been better off taking that time and spending it with a woman who knew she wanted to be married and was worthy of being courted for the streets. So understand something. When you hear how many times, now she said a high value man, 37. See, a lot of sisters have never heard it come from a black woman's mouth. I had a high value man. He was ready to get married, but yet I blew it. What you got to say, sisters? Your own sister came out and said, that was me. And I give her credit for coming on here telling part of the story, but you're still not ready, ma'am, because you still came on here trying to obfuscate, deflect, lie of omission, and you ran into a buzzsaw. I'm not trying to kick it with you. And I talked to enough people, enough women to know when someone's not being honest. She kept looking down in the chat room. All kind of, I'm good at what I do for a reason. And I can tell when I'm talking to somebody why they are here if I sit there and talk to them for a minute. Why you all in the chat room and this and that? Yeah, You still need the therapy, ma'am. You still out for something else. Don't have any guy wasting his time trying to be marriage minded with you. Somebody says I can't take a 23-year-old woman seriously. She's their children. No, they're not. No, they're not. See, you guys need to stop making those sweeping remarks. The 23-year-old women you know, or the 23-year-olds you may interact with, their children. There are plenty of 23-year-old women that can run circles around a lot of you 40-year-old men. So just say the ones you know. See, again, we have to end up raising the overall standard. See, if you take, here's the thing, be honest. See, when I make it a requirement for the trolls to get on the camera, they run. They're out in the chat room. Can I get on? I'm a celebrity, but you can't see my face. Nope, if you're not willing to get on. You don't have to be on the screen here on YouTube, but you got to be on screen over here. I got to see you. See, the story has been told that black men are not high value, and the ones that are high value don't want to marry. And I'm tearing these down. Yes, there are black men that are high value. They exist. They want to marry. They're not all secretly gay and abusive. And now you're starting to hear that, oh, I had my shot at this guy and I blew it. What you tend to hear is women who had good men early on, and in the early under 30, that's damn near impossible for you to be high value. But they were Henrys they were hit squad. They were high value men in training, or Henrys in training. And what you tend to hear more often than not, I had a man in my 20s. He wanted to do right by me, wanted to marry me, but I wanted something different. I wanted to get out here and hot girl summer it up, live my best life, which is a code word for women don't want to, women, far too many black women don't want to settle down today. They fear they'll get the wrong, I'll be settling for him. And she was an average looking woman. I'm making no mistake. She wasn't, I mean, the woman, I'm not 8, 9, or 10. No, average looking. That's why I did that broadcast. Many women have already met their men and blew it. So how do you fix this stuff? You don't fix it by continuing to lie. Continue to act like you're the victim. Continue to act like there aren't guys out there like that. And see, one of these things is what I'm realizing a lot about this show is I think a lot of women are starting to realize that this is more of a balance issue than they thought. A lot of women really thought it was just the men. And now they're starting to realize, well, wait a minute. The men are dealing with these women. I've yet to have a woman come in and say, you know what? I like to be in the man's position, picking through all this. So here's a question. What do you tell the men? What do you tell the men to do if they're ready to get married, ready to move on to the next phase in life? They built their dudes that are out there. They need to move on. They're ready to build their family, their legacy. They're trying to move up in their companies. They need a wife on their arm. What are they to pick from? What are they to pick from? Where are the women who want to marry high-value men? Stand up. Where are you? Raise your hand. I'm ready. Ooh, Kevin, I'm ready right now. Okay. Are you? Because if you're ready, you'd be moving a different way. Yep, you'd be moving a different way. See, women who are ready realize that they're going to have, when they have quarters, they pick from the best one they have and they keep it moving. You're not going to get everything you want. You get about 80% you want out of a person. That's about it. No, you won't start your video later. You'll start it now or you'll get out of my chat room. You'll start it now or you'll get out of my chat room. Oh, that's a guy. Well, I'm not talking to guys. I'm not talking to guys. Especially, look here, man. I'm going to just go ahead and be honest, dude. Let me go ahead and say this to the guys. Gentlemen, don't call my show if you're dressed in a do-rag, earrings, and a t-shirt. Don't call my show if you're laid on the couch like you just whacked off and ate a 8-piece wing from Wingstop. Don't call my show. If you're going to call my show, you need to have a button-up on minimum. You need to be sitting up like a grown damn man, ready to be counted. This is not a show for little boys. I'm done with y'all. No one's calling in to hear what little boys have to say. They want to hear from men. Or none at all. I don't think they get it. I don't think a lot of these guys get it. I don't think a lot of these guys get it. So, let me go ahead and speak to this other side. Ladies, let's put some hope into this. One thing I hear a lot of sisters saying is, man, I like what you're saying, but a little harsh. Let me let you know why it's harsh, because it's direct. Because you're wasting time. Every day that goes by, sis, is one day closer to the cold and flu season. This cuffing season is going to be epic. Do you have your panda boo? Pan boo. Pandemic boo. Panda boo, pandemic boo. Do you have your panda boo? Do you have your panda boo for this season? People aren't trying to have rotations now. Ladies, listen to your godfather. Guys are not trying to have rotations in 2020. They're trying to get one, a panda boo. If you are ready and out there to be selected before it hits, you can have your panda boo and shelter in place with your panda boo. And he knows that this is a good time to make a negotiation. Panda boo, panda bay, and be like, look here. In 2018, we was running and gunning. Now we living in a different world. The V is out there. Panda boo, panda bay. Hey, you can be 80%. I'm 80% of what you need. Let's go ahead and get this thing done. Let's make some panda pups and keep on doing. You know what? Godfather's kind of right. You know, it is time to get off this carousel and this ride, because it's bull crap out here trying to rip and run and rip and run. I'm ready to settle down and get to the next phase of life. Panda boo, panda bay, panda pups. Next thing you know, you're like, damn, survive 2020 with the panda. Next thing you know, 2020, get the little invitation, and you moving on to the next phase in life. Every other group out there is doing it. They're coupling up and getting the heck on. Schools are shutting down, ladies. You know how many women? I'm going to do a video on right here in Atlanta. The women there was a woman on CNN who was a teacher and married, and she had to quit, and she's deciding to homeschool her kids instead of teaching somebody else's kids. The world has changed. And black men are not your enemy. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of black men want to marry. A lot of black men want to marry. I know you hear stuff in these spaces. I ain't marrying this and that. These are the minority of people. The loudest voices in the room ain't going to do shit. They ain't going to bust a grape. The guys that are screaming in the chat room and screaming in the comment section, even if you had a dime, even if you came and said, whatever you like, they wouldn't pull the trigger. The dudes that scream the loudest wouldn't pull the trigger, so don't pay them no attention. The majority of people want to couple up. That's what they want to do. The majority of people want to couple up and they want to move on. That's what it is. The question is, are you ready to be panda bay? Are you ready to be panda boo? Are you ready for it? Black Becky, she said time to lose. Seriously, are you ready for it? This silly person came in here. KB Scoop said high value men aren't interested. They want a rotation. Let me go ahead and time you out, because one, you ain't a high value man, so you can't say nothing. You're not a high value man, nor are you high value affiliated, so you can't say nothing. You can't say anything about a high value man if you're not one. Let me say that again. Let me go ahead and piss some people off. If you're not a high value man, why are you speaking on them? Unless you personally know high value men, which I doubt, because high value men tend to be in the company of high value men. A lot of you guys are just projecting. Talking about, well, if I were a high value man, this is what I would do, because I'd have money and I could have all these women. But that ain't how high value men work. I had 3 executives today I talked to. 3, 1, 2, 3. First time calls, 1, 2, 3, 3 executives, well, 2 executives and 1 on the way. And all 3 of them want a relationship. They're too fucking busy. Let me go ahead and completely crush this shit. High value men are too busy for a rotation. When you're working 12, 14, 16 hour days, you don't have time to spin and juggle a rotation forever. Yes, they all had most of these guys had a rotation at one time, but they get tired of it. That's why you even heard AMS at one point talk about, look, man, this rotation stuff is tiring. You want to get one or two, and eventually you want to get down to one. So knock it off, broke dude. Why I got dudes in there, man? Let me go ahead and help y'all. They got dudes with ball caps and bad lighting. And then I don't get it. No. Please call into my show and look camera appropriate. I'm serious. I'm talking about high value men. If you're not high value, if that's not what you are, please wait for the appropriate show. You're taking it down a notch because understand something. Men who make a certain amount of money, let's talk about how high value men move. When you have resources, you have to protect it. And a rotation of lots of women, unless they're signing non-disclosures, you don't know why women are coming at you. When you're making $100,000 a month, let's talk about it. When you're making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, especially if you're in a public way, women know you have money or resources. That's why celebrities and people with money tend to already kick it with the same pool of people because they've been vetted. High value men and high value ladies have been pre-qualified. But eventually you get tired of cycling through and you want one. So what I'm telling you ladies is a lot of guys will talk a lot, but high value men tend, 90% of millionaires and billionaires are married for a reason. So if you want to break into this, understand something. Guys that are in this category move differently. They speak directly. They speak about the present and the future. There's a plan, there's a place. And the thing is, are you ready? See, just like there are ladies that come in here and BS, there are guys in here be trying to BS and, faking high value. I know that's been a thing, guys faking high value. Well, that's for dating. Dating, you can fake anything. I'm talking about network. Relationships are network and it's business. Let's talk business. I'm going for another 15 minutes. I've had people pop into the chat room. I've had people pop into the How old are you, dude? 22. Wrong conversation. It's not the young guy conversation. I'm going to do a young guy conversation. Here's the thing. Too young for the conversation. Let me go ahead and answer your question because you at least have a nice background. Hold on. Let me go ahead and unmute you. You have at least have a nice background. I'll at least try that. Go ahead and unmute yourself, young man. I'll try to help you. Go ahead.
You can hear me now?
I can. Go ahead.
Yes.
You're 22?
22. Yes.
Well, thank you for at least having a button up on and a nice background. Even though it's not the right show, I'll try to help you. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm 22, man, and I'm from down south. I migrated to up north to Minnesota, and man, I'm like 22, man, and I'm not interested in sexual intercourse with women. Like, I mean, I'm attracted to women. Like, I'm all the way there, but it's more than me. I'm all about building a heritage and building something for my last name, my kids to have one day. Like,
okay.
I'm investing in stocks and everything.
So what do you do? Are you in college?
No, sir. I'm interested in going to trade school after the COVID thing blows over.
So what are you doing right now?
I'm a musician.
Okay. So.
But I am trying to branch out of that because that is common amongst young black men. I'm trying to branch out of that and do the unknown.
So let me stop you. COVID has nothing to do with you getting your skills up. You cannot wait for one thing to stop before you get started. Because the first thing you said is you want to wait because you're not interested in casual sex. That's fine. But at 22 years old, look, man, you're 8 years away from this anyway.
Yes, sir.
You should be working 60 hours a week minimum that you're getting paid for, and getting out here, getting your money up, investing in yourself into self improvement, getting the gym. There's a physical component. You need to get a skill component, whether there's a trade, professional certification, so you can get your value up. Then you need to have that mentor, that coach, so you continue to have one-on-ones that are really valuable. You got a lot of fucking work to do before women come into the picture. So
Yes,
you can want to this nice legacy and thing, but you can't get none of that if you broke. You
yes,
can't
sir.
get
You
none of it if
certainly
you broke, and you can't keep a worthwhile woman if you don't have the resources.
yes, sir.
So that's at 22. I need you to get yourself on a plan and a path and something. And what triggered me is you saying when this is over. No, bro. No. It happens. You don't get to pick. Life was
Yes,
jump
sir.
rope. It's time to jump in. Okay?
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it,
I
man.
appreciate. Thank you.
Stay up, man. Peace out. Thank you for calling in, man. All right. Yeah, guys, understand something. Let me talk to the men, guys. Ladies can do that. Well, after this is up, no, we don't get that. We don't get the luxury. We gotta keep moving. What happened in the bubonic plague? Well, you know what, man. I got this blacksmith business over here, man. I got this. When this bubonic plague settles down, and no, man, you gotta keep working. If all the men stop because of the world would shut down. We don't get that. We don't get that. So, what was I on? I was saying something. High value men. See, high value men move in a certain kind of way. High value ladies move in a certain kind of way. There's certainty. If you're dealing with somebody who's talking about fear, things that they can't control, I'm not doing this until this changes, fear. Or scarcity. High value people don't move in that. They make their reality happen. They make it happen. So again, I hear lots of talk about these rotations and all this other kind of stuff. And the men with the resources and things don't have massive rotations like that. See, a lot of guys sit back and do this. Man, if I had, I was making $100,000 a month, man, I'd have this chick, I'd have that chick. I'd be in Brazil, I'd be here, and I'd be there. No, if you had that money, you may do that for a minute, but what you really you'll be too busy doing what it took to get that money. And you be trying to ride that wave and build it. And see, that's what attracts women to truly high value men. The work. The money is just an indication that work is being done. Let your Godfather help you. Money is just an indication in the modern world that work has been done. 300-400 years ago, how did women know if work was being done? They would look at the field, they would look at the size of the house, they would look at your physical accomplishments. They would talk to the other townsfolk and say, well, this man produces more than that man. And the man that produced more, let's talk about it too. See, high value ladies have high value fathers or high value men around them. If you think you're a low value buster ass dude gonna pick a woman off the high value tree, no, there's a high value man sitting around somewhere like this. What do? Let me read your dick facts. No, fam. I'm gonna have to get a blood sample, your credit report, because if he done what he needs to do to make sure his daughter's high value, like a lot of you guys saying, "Oh man, I ain't gonna marry a woman or deal with a woman unless she comes from a 2-parent household." Okay, cool. Well, then you gonna meet a dad that's be like, "Okay, knucklehead." They're gonna run you through the paces. Nigga, let me look at your teeth. Let me look at you got all your own teeth. Oh no, this dude got caps. He ain't got feelings. We got get up out of here, man. Not for my daughter. High value men that did all that stuff. You think they gonna let your buster ass over there and take his daughter? No. See, you're not gonna get around this work component. So when I hear dudes trying to say it's not about this, not about that, not about money, and everybody's trying to cheat. You can't cheat the game, fam. So I say this high value thing ain't for everybody. It's too much pressure. If you can't sit there and be grilled by a man, oh, you want my daughter? Okay, cool. You're 35 and she's 21. All right, cool. Yeah, I see you, but I need to see your 7 years of tax returns. I'm actually send a. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna do a background check on you. Gonna send a forensic account. We're gonna just make sure that you're solid and who you say you are. Then after that, yeah, man. Yeah, 21. I'm 30 faker. Yeah, cool. Now, you own this kind of business, and okay, so there's gonna be business between these families. See, high value men, high value ladies, there's business between us. There's a network. There's more than just love and feelings. We got stuff on the line. So just like you hear a lot of women coming in here with these high value lifestyle fantasies, I'm like, well, what you gonna do for a man that's over here in this category? He needs you to be more than just whatever you like. No. No. So, Charles Merchant, you better tell him what I'm talking about, man. You better tell him what I'm talking about. And you high value, and the women who want that, if you want a high value man, you better be prepared to that clean bill of health. Oh, let me tell you right now, your godfather, personally, we gotta, no, I need to get that test done. You gonna be new to my world? We're gonna go see Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson, you gonna get that blood test. We're gonna get that nice little woohoo. Yep, gotta get that clean bill. Oh yes. Okay, Come over to have a drink. I'm gonna take that glass. There's a DNA. Shoop. Send it off to the lab. Oh, you goddamn right. That's one thing you'll never have to hear about your godfather caught up in some BS. Kevin and I went down and he did. You ain't never got to worry about me getting caught up. Please. Nope. I don't play that game. Nope. No. Ben Cisco, you better believe him. Yeah, man. I went down to Atlanta and I want to hear this story. This chick on talking about. I want to hear this. Okay. Then you'll get a cease and desist, and Miller and Associates will be contacting you. You will get served at your job. Oh yeah. What is a high value woman? High value lady? What do you think they are, Stephen? What do you think they are? I don't care about her resources as much as I care about her mental health, and I care about her clean physical bill of health. I don't care about her money as much. I mean, I will check, but that's not primary. I care that she has her sound mind and her body checks out. Everything else, see, truly high value men expect to pay 100% anyway. She's going to come with bills, man. Women are a bill. Beauty costs. Even when I go out with a female who's a colleague, I pay the bill. I don't know how some of you guys plan on moving, man, because this 50-50 mentality, this, oh man, men are getting torn out the frame or whatever, man, gone over there on the kiddie league, man. I'm sorry. But men see how you move with women and determine whether or not they want to deal with you. Case in point. Go out with a woman to a nice establishment. Let the check come, and everybody's all coupled up. Let the check come and let her get her check and you get your check. The men in the room see you splitting the check, they're going to be like, that's inappropriate. If you think God's going to be like, oh man, it's first date, 2020. Guys are getting torn out the frame. You don't know who's in these rooms. And if you move differently than the people who are there their whole time, I'll give you an example. Back during the American Revolution, okay, when they used to have spies, and the British Army would have people come over and infiltrate. And then they would have Americans try to infiltrate the British ranks. So they could dress like an Englishman, or they could dress like an American. They could have their language. But what they could not do is the mannerisms. When they would sit down to dinner, the English gentleman would use their utensils differently. The American would have a knife in one hand and a fork in another hand. They would eat this way, and they wouldn't put this utensil down. But the English, they would pick the knife up, pick the fork up, cut, put the knife back down, pick the fork up with the meat, boom. Pick up the knife, cut, put the knife back down, boom. You had spies that got killed or hung or discovered because of their table manners. You did not look, you looked the part, but you didn't act the part. And you couldn't do the nuanced things. So at the end of the day, guys, that's what it really came down to. You couldn't do the nuanced things. So if you couldn't do the nuanced things, guys just really didn't have anything to say. I'm going to shut this down, guys. Because we're to the point to where almost midnight. Sorry, guys, we're almost to midnight. I didn't look up. Gentlemen, I know high value is the buzzword these days. But unless you truly want the smoke, the heat, the pressure that comes from being in the top 10%, where do you rank in your current company? Where do you rank in your current employment? Are you in the top 10% of your organization? Top performers are tops where they go. And if you don't want the high value pressure, then you don't get the high value women that come along with it. And here's the thing, for the ladies who say, that's why I'm so hard on women that say they want these high value men. I'm like, do you know what it takes to become a high value man? Then you need to be an apt reward. Somebody said, what is a high value woman? Well, first off, she's fit. 5'4", average height. She's a dress size 4. 120 pounds. Fit. She ain't thick. She's fit because she realizes she has to be fit for you. She has to look good on your arm. She has to look good to other men around, because other men look at you, another high value man, and determine how high value he really is by the woman on his arm. You know how many men have called themselves high value, whatever, and show up with a big woman, they're like, new money. Look, man, like it or not, ladies, if you want a high value man, you have to be fit, feminine, friendly. Then there's that whole beautiful component to it. You can't really do much about beauty. You can be the best you can, but the fit part you can do about it, the feminine part you can do about it, the friendly part you can do, the cooperative, submissive part, and then the value add. What are you adding to his world? He's got to go out and slay the dragon. You got to keep harping home well. He needs to come through the door, and he don't want to debate with you or talk about kids' homework. It's a Yep, a lot of you guys. A lot of guys will sit back and say, you want something. I don't begrudge you. I think part of the conversation, I need to do a show on Angie, Tina, Aaron, and Greg, because that's where the bulk of people are, really. 30% of people are in that 60,000 to 85,000 range for men. And women are in that 5, 6, adjustable 6 category. Average, cute, the can be pretty category. I give that 5, 6, adjustable 6. Now see, the problem is the adjustable 6s always want to go up. Women always want the next level. So 5s always want 6s, 6s always want adjustable 6s, adjustable 6s always want 8s, but you can't get 8s. And that's one thing that more people really need to have reality. This period in time is crazy. Because when I was a kid, average people did not expect to drive BMWs and Mercedes. Average people were happy with driving Ford Escorts and Ford Futuras. You know, they was used to driving Pinto. They were okay. They expected to live in an apartment. A big accomplishment for an average person was to get a home, a $100,000 home. Let's see, a home where everybody had a bedroom, where mom and dad had a bedroom, son, daughter. If they had 3 kids, everybody had a bedroom, and then they had a den and a dining room. That was the success of a life, to get a simple home to where everybody didn't have big bedrooms. They had little bitty bedrooms, little bedroom here, little bedroom there, little bedroom here. You know, dad and the master bedroom, dining room, den / living room. You didn't get no garage. You had, parked on the street, or you maybe had a driveway. If you had a covered garage, you were balling. And when you looked in those neighborhoods, regular cars. You didn't see a bunch of foreign cars. You saw Ford Thunderbird, or, if you had like a Cadillac or something, simplicity. And people was happy. Now we got people trying to be everything. Going to debt. No, knock it off, man. Knock it off. Now understand something. In my world, I'm an image consultant. Average people didn't need an image consultant. I worked with image consultants. Have always worked with the top 20%. It used to be top 20%, but top 10%. My core business is for the top 10% of men and the top 20% of women. But I will do a broadcast to at least put my thoughts out here about the missing part, where most people would be happy if they could just get reasonable. That's why I say Panda Boo and Panda Bay, oh, y'all about to get real reasonable. See, high value dudes, high value men, as long as, they can't control whether or not a virus attacks them, but they got resources. High value men can sit back and, I'm in Atlanta, I'm going to flew her out from LA, I'm going to flew her out from Boston or whatever. Average dudes, you ain't fluent and flying. You're local. Local, and start living life local. Shout out to Jay. Blame social media. Taco Bell man driving a BMW. That's right, man. All right, man. Thank you for tonight, but I want to make it real clear. High value black men do exist. They want to marry black women. They don't automatically go marry Becky. The question is, are you a wife for what a high value black man wants today? Not are you in training? No. What's one of the comments you tend to hear a lot, man? Oh, I'm 180 pounds, but I'm working on it. Well, then you don't count. Come back when you're 120 pounds. And see, I think that's a big portion. A lot of women didn't call in tonight because they knew their weight wasn't in right. Because if I asked, are you ready today? It's like, no, I'm not fit. Well, if that's the first requirement for high value is money. The first requirement for being a high value woman is fitness. If you ain't there, if a high value man is looking to buy today, he can't buy you. Can't do it. All right, man. I got to get up out of here. Tonight, did we cross 100,000 subscribers? Black women, black men are not your enemy. These broadcasts are a little tongue-in-cheek, a little fun. Black men are not your enemy. And I really think in the next 3 months, there's going to be a big reformation in how people start to look at one another. They're going to look at each other, and human beings know how to sort themselves out when push comes to shove. I laugh when people talk about the laws changing and this and that. Laws ain't going to change that quick. Laws ain't going to change in my lifetime, your lifetime. Something else different's going to happen. So I'm hoping the best for my dudes that want to find him a suitable woman. I'm hoping the best for the women that want to find them a suitable man that they're willing to work with. You know, Aaron and Greg finding Tina and Angie clearing their head and saying, you know what? That Greg ain't bad. That Aaron is pretty cool. I mean, Marcus and Keith, they cool and all, but I ain't trying to be this is where it's at, man. Outback is good. Ruby Tuesdays is good. Applebee's is good, man. We like this. You know, I don't need to be up at Ruth Chris and La Billy Bouquet. I mean, that's on anniversaries or special occasion. But I like Domino's Pizza. I don't need to go to Fellini's. I like Domino's. I don't need to be getting all this expensive this. I need regular stuff. Tom Ford, what? Is that like a what? Man, no. We're going to get some Levi's. We're going to get some Hanes. Come on, man. Knock it off. Till next time. Till the next time. You know, I am not too... Don't ever get too bougie to where a two-piece don't set you off. I still go to Popeyes. I like my chicken and my biscuit. I'm about to eat my chicken wings, my chicken tenders right now with my bougie ass. Peace. We are gone, because them shits is good. Bust out my Baccarat crystal and my Popeyes cup. Right, baby.
It's not hard to fool me.
And what's in there? Fanta Red. Fanta Red. Damn right. Yeah, I'm messing with it. I had them $2.49 popcorn shrimp. Boop, 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 driving in my Tom Ford suit, tearing that popcorn shrimp up. Man, you better get up off of here. Chick-fil-A, man. That's the first Tuesday. Popeyes on Monday, baby. And last night I was at La Billy Bouquet. And the night before, the American Cut. All right. That was fun. Join the movement, support the show on Patreon. Thank you to all the patrons, people that make the show possible. A lot of stuff changing, a lot of stuff's moving. The Patreons are the engine to keep this thing going, so thank you very much.
Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes.
To the people who are joining the channel, badges are going to change. Different membership levels on the channel are going to change. If you want to join Patreon and be on the channel, there are going to be members only chat privilege things coming over here as well. Join me on IG over in the frat room. We'll catch live streams that occur only there. When they're up, they're up. When they're gone, they're gone. IG is growing, guys. IG is growing and growing and growing. IG is where a lot of women are. Facebook is where a lot of women are, and they're going to start meeting some collaborations and some things going forward. You know, this ain't about me. It's about you guys and deciding to move this thing forward. Email your show ideas to info@bykevinsamuels.com or book your one-on-one personal advice, corporate career consulting, interpersonal communication, or your virtual style session, virtual consult. It's there. If you don't know which one you want,